What is up, guys? Welcome to episode number 80 of Diggity Podcast. I'm Jeff James. As always, with me is the incredible, unobtainable, delectable, luscious Brody Faults. Had to throw another word there, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about yourself?
Good. I am just peachy.
Just peachy?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I have to fly out real early. Well, I mean, people listening to this, I'll be on a plane. But, it's just, I don't know. Every time I got to fly real early, it's always concerning and hectic for me because I feel like I'm going to miss my flight. Never missed a flight. Usually I'm extremely early for these things, but it just terrifies the shit out of me, dude.
Think you're just going to sleep past your alarm or what?
That or like get into an accident on the way to the airport or just so many variables. And I just sit there and I mean, dude, flying fucking sucks. First of all, like the whole process of it is awful. So if there's one thing that gets in the way, it just gets terrible. Something not terrible though, following us on Instagram and Twitter, boom. But you didn't know I was going to take it to that. That was smooth, right?
that was great. That
was it
fantastic.
Smooth? Okay, perfect.
It was smooth as butter.
Oh. Easily just as smooth. Following us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel name is Diggity. It's Diggity. And if you listen to the audio version of the podcast for the first time, hit the follow or subscribe button, depending upon what platform you're listening on. We are on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, my dudes. And with that, before we jump into the news, what did you play, my dude, this weekend?
Well, as I've said on the last couple episodes that we've done, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 on PC. And I played a little bit of Rocket League. And honestly, I didn't play much else because my hard drive that I use for my Xbox.
I didn't know if you were going to talk about it or not.
No, my hard drive decided it was going to blow the fuck up. No, it for whatever reason just quit working. So I am in the process of downloading all of my games again, which is great. It's fantastic. And it's only going to take way too long. Had to go buy a new hard drive, all that good stuff. So my games that I have on my Xbox are very limited, and I had to kind of be a little choosy on what I chose to download.
Sorry, hold on. You might have just said it and I didn't hear it, but did you pick up a new one?
Yeah, I got a new one. I'm in the process of downloading everything again now.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. So see you in like 6 fucking days.
Well, it's okay. I'm gone. I'll be back. When I'm back, I'll be able to play all the games with you now, which will be great. Is there stuff that you went through and you found like, hey, holy shit, I haven't played that in forever, like Peggle?
I had a bunch of things that I had downloaded that I kept telling myself I was eventually going to get around to, and I have not gotten around to, and they have been installed for a long time, especially some Game Pass games, things that I just haven't gotten into yet. So I actually just went through my library and downloaded the games I wanted, and then I need to go through Game Pass library eventually and pick and choose more games that I want to download. It's a process. It's going to be a little bit.
Well, I mean, your hard drive took a shit and my headphones took a shit.
Right. So, all at once. It was great.
I'm the guy that everyone hears an echo through and they're like, is your TV volume up? No, it's fucking not. Stop.
Well, to be fair, one guy that we've played with before, he used to do that all the time. He used to have his TV volume on. And you'd hear everything back through his headset.
Yeah.
And he would deny it until you would yell at him enough that he would take his headset off and be like, oh, yeah, my TV's on. Sorry. Come on, man. So what'd you play?
I got into some Lego Marvel Superheroes too. That game is rough in handheld mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's primarily just because of so early on, you have these big open, not massive open, but like pretty large levels, and you have to use multiple characters. So the camera is zoomed out pretty far. The graphic difference between on the TV and on the handheld is pretty insane. and then trying to be Rocket Raccoon. Never mind. Trying to be fucking Baby Groot. All right. And walk around a little bit and do some stuff is a little difficult.
I played the first 10 hours of that game because I unlocked all of the open world for my kids so they could play it and just go through and not have to worry about going through story missions and stuff. And this was my oldest has gotten better at going through story missions and things now, but
they can be confusing, man. That Lego game can be a little interesting. Like they don't make things super clear in some parts, or like it's hidden behind something. You're like, whoa, what the hell? I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
Nor can I turn the camera around. I got into that. I mean, I guess play a little bit of Rocket League with you guys. And then on top of that, I also played a decent amount of NHL 19 because it was games with gold.
Yeah. A couple things I forgot to mention. I actually got into Cadence of Hyrule a little bit. Found out I'm really bad at it, and it might take a little bit for me to get used to. It's bizarre because you're so used to just moving around freely
and stuff, but you gotta go with the beat.
Everything's with the beat, and so it's taking a minute to train my brain to do that because it's just bizarre. But everything that they've crafted and the world that they've made is awesome. I love it. I want to get better at it so I don't die all the time. And then I gave Outer Wilds a try as well, which is a game that just came to Game Pass. I couldn't get into it. A lot of people love this game. I didn't make it very far. I probably didn't give it enough of a chance, and I actually want to go back to it and give it a little bit more of a chance, but maybe I just wasn't in the mood for that kind of game. But yeah, I mean, it looks gorgeous and I like the concept of it, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just the day or what it was, but I could not really fully just kind of get enthralled in that world, that Outer Wild, I guess. I was going to say Outer World, but that's a different game.
Does it have anything to do with the art style?
Maybe a little bit. And it's not, like I said, it's not a bad looking game. It's just definitely very different than most things I've played or most things that I generally do play. But yeah, I've heard fantastic things and I want to give it a equal shot for sure.
Cool. All right, man. You want to hit us with upcoming games before we jump into all the delicious news?
Yeah, since E3 was last week, we didn't really give you the games that came out last week, so I'm actually going to let you know what came out yesterday as well. So on June 18th, which was yesterday, Another Sight came to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night came to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Citizens of Space came to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Lovely Planet 2 came to PC, Mini Mech Mayhem came to PSVR, and Vacation Simulator came to PSVR. That's terrible.
What a time to be alive where we have a simulator for vacations.
Yeah.
I'm relaxing.
June 20th, Boxing Champs comes to Switch, Catan comes to Switch, Muse Dash comes to PC and Switch, My Friend Pedro comes to PC and Switch, Scrap Rush comes to PC and Switch, and Tech Corp comes to PC. On June 21st, Captain Cat, comes to Switch. That drastically changes everything. Crash Team Racing Nitro Field comes to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Judgment comes to PS4 in pre-order early access. Very odd stipulation there. The Sims 4 Island Living expansion comes to PC, and Triton Survival comes to PC. And then next Tuesday, on June 24th, one game comes out. Just Heavy Rain coming to PC. That's it.
Hell yeah.
An awfully quiet day.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Sweet. Cool. All right. Into the news. Dr. Mario World for mobile is launching on both iOS and Android devices on July 10th. So this is Nintendo's modern take on a classic game made with the mobile platforms in mind. And description directly from the website for Dr. Mario World says, match capsules with viruses and watch them disappear. Simply match 3 objects of the same color vertically or horizontally to clear them. Take your time because each puzzling stage's configuration of viruses must be cleared using a limited number of capsules. There'll be hundreds of stages apparently at launch, with more content being added in the future, DLC and updates. The game will also have a versus mode, that will allow you to challenge others in online play. It's Candy Crush.
Yeah, essentially
It's
took Dr. Mario.
Fucking kill Candy Crush.
Oh yeah.
This is going to make
Nintendo
them so much money, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
My God.
Yeah, Nintendo's basically writing themselves a check. It's just absolutely.
Did you pre-order it?
Well, it's free, but yeah.
No,
yeah,
I know.
Pre-registered.
It's weird. On the App Store, you click get, right? And it says it's coming out, and then it still says pre-ordered.
Oh, really? Ours
right
on
there. Pre-ordered.
Okay.
Kind of weird.
On Android, it's just pre-register or whatever for it.
No, yeah.
No, this is gonna absolutely print money. Candy Crush with Dr. Mario. Why not? So Playground Games has added some new staff. Playground Games is known for Forza, and they have picked up some Rockstar developers as well as some Ubisoft developers. So Michael Leon from Rockstar Games San Diego has been added as the principal tech designer. Sorry, I just got an update on my PC. That's not good. Don't do that. He worked previously as a game designer for Rockstar until shortly after the release of Red Dead Redemption 2. Tom Maddox from Massive Entertainment, an Ubisoft studio. He is hired on as an audio designer grade 2. Oddly enough, Maddox also worked in audio and design for Fable Legends. He also did freelancing for PlayStation, more specifically PlayStation VR Worlds. Neil Davies from Rockstar North has been added as the principal lighting artist. Davies was the senior lighting artist while Red Dead Redemption 2 was finishing development. And so Playground Games, as we've heard before, it was kind of still rumor at that point, but now it's kind of been confirmed. They're working on an RPG project, which is from a very, very well-known racing developer to an RPG. That's a big difference. I'm interested to see what they put out. So this is really cool. They got some obviously top-notch people here. You think of the lighting that was in Red Dead Redemption 2 and just everything about that, as well as the guy that worked for Ubisoft. I mean, the Tom Maddox, he's got a pretty good pass behind him as well. So this will be interesting to see what they're working on and see what they pull together. I mean, obviously they're known for the racing games and how beautiful Forza is, but it'll be interesting to see what their RPG looks like and what kind of art style they go with and what it ends up being.
I love how you've continued to say Forza.
I do.
My God, he stuck to it. He's a man of his word.
I am a man of my word.
I'm interested. I was thinking about this today. Do you think that the next Xbox will have VR stuff in it? Like they'll have a VR headset from the get-go? Because they did connect right out the box with Xbox One. I'd be surprised if they don't do a VR add-on.
I would think it would, but I also would have thought that we would have heard something by now. I mean, as far as Microsoft goes, with VR, I guess Xbox specifically, with VR, we haven't heard shit. I mean, they just aren't I guess telling anybody about it.
They're more focused on AR too with the HoloLens.
Right.
But I mean, the HoloLens isn't even commercial anymore. I mean, it isn't residential or like for entertainment anymore. It's all like for
like
engineering and medical and training and hazard training and stuff like that. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I would think that they're going to definitely get in that market as well. And I think some of that might come from their partnership with PlayStation that we talked about probably 4 episodes ago. I would think there's going to be a little bit of give and take there. So yeah, I sure hope they do. I mean, why not? It's something that PlayStation has proved can be kind of more of a mainstream thing. Yeah. And so
made good money.
Fantastic. So why not?
Cool. Monster Hunter World Iceborne beta was announced. The beta will be coming to PS4 first on June 21st, 23rd, as long as you have PS Plus. And for PlayStation players who don't have PS Plus, you'll get a chance to play the beta from June 28th to the 30th. And you do not need to own the game to give the beta a try, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. And if you play on anything else, fuck you, apparently. that exclusive deal that PlayStation has with Monster Hunter kind of screws everybody else out here.
Yeah, Xbox players get no love.
Yep. We're used to it. It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine.
Everything's all right.
So the E3 demo of Cyberpunk 2077 will be shown to the public soon, but not soon enough. The demo that was shown behind closed doors this year of the highly anticipated game will be shown to the public during PAX West. PAX will run August 29th through September 2nd this year. CD Projekt Red has previously made it clear that the demo would not be released publicly until after Gamescom, which Gamescom this year runs August 20th through the 24th. But community lead Marcin Mama confirmed on Twitter exactly when we'd be expecting the 50-minute extended gameplay demo. So yeah, I mean, right in the middle of PAX or sometime during that time period, we'll be seeing it. And this is actually very similar to how everything how this went last year. Sorry, I apparently stumbled all over my words and show notes here. But the demo was shown off last year behind closed doors as well. And it was a couple weeks to a month later, it was released to the public so we could see it. And that was similar in the same way of being like a 45-minute extended gameplay demo that, you know, they show off to people within the gaming industry first, and then everybody else gets to see it. I'm
so stoked for this game, dude.
It looks so good. I can't wait.
Complete side note, but relatable because we're a video game podcast. Crash Nitro Fuel Racing. Are we doing it? We're doing Let's Play on that?
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Why not?
Hey, E.G. Aonuma was promoted to, I probably totally fucking botched that, but was promoted to deputy general manager within Nintendo.
I mean, he's only a pretty big deal at Nintendo. No
Aonuma is known for producing Legend of Zelda series, and thankfully will continue to do so. This promotion seemed to happen quietly with no major announcement or really even a formal release from the company, which is kind of odd. And Hisashi Nagami, the producer of another popular series, Splatoon, also received a promotion for deputy general manager. So people are getting promoted at Nintendo. And I still have my job.
I see. Yeah. Aonuma has been at Nintendo for forever.
Very long.
If I remember correctly, he's the one that did Majora's Mask, and it was all his idea to do this, and he was given such a short span of time to turn this around and make
his duty now with maybe Breath of the Wild too.
Yep. He was ahead of Breath of the Wild. He's pretty much done all of the major Zeldas. So, but I'm surprised that this is just now happening. And I don't know if that was more of a pushback from him that he didn't want that role and would have rather stayed where he was at. But I wonder if they finally came to a deal where he can still work on Zelda and take on these other duties as well, or something.
He's just a humble dude.
Maybe. I mean,
didn't want the humble brags, just wanted to just chill.
I mean, he's made my favorite game of all time, so
yeah, cool.
The Pokemon Entitlement movement. This is not an official thing. I decided to give it a name.
Triggered.
So recently, US Gamer met up with some of the devs for Pokemon Sword and Shield. When asked about the decision to not include all previous Pokemon in the new games, wow, I'm gonna butcher this name.
Junichi Masuda.
Producer answered. He was the head producer on these. Sorry, he answered. There are a couple of different parts to be thinking behind it, but really the biggest reason for it is just the sheer number of Pokemon. We already have well over 800 Pokemon species, and there's going to be more added in these games. And now that they're on Nintendo Switch, we're creating it with a much higher fidelity, with higher quality animations. But even more than that, it's coming down to the battle system. We're making sure we can keep everything balanced and give all the Pokemon that appear in the games a chance to shine. We knew at some point we weren't going to be able to indefinitely keep supporting all of the Pokemon, and we just found that Sword and Shield would probably be a good point to go back and reevaluate what would be best selection of Pokemon that appeal to the widest audience while keeping into consideration the balance of the battle system. It isn't just going to be all new Pokemon in Galar region Pokedex. There's still going to be a lot of favorites that fans will be able to bring over that they've adventured with previously. But yeah, it was pretty much just balancing and getting this optimal selection of Pokemon for the adventure we wanted to provide. So we didn't cover this when it first happened, but basically Pokemon fans are very upset that the national dex, as you know, they usually do a regional dex, Pokedex, and then a national Pokedex. The national Pokedex usually opens up after you complete the game, and now you can collect all Pokemon from different regions and fill that out, from what we've heard, and we knew there were going to be some favorites and some other Pokemon that were going to return from older games, but they basically confirmed that you're not going to be able to transfer all Pokemon over into these new games. And this kind of went alongside the talk about the Pokemon Home, where it's the new Pokemon Bank, where you can go in, put your Pokemon in there and transfer them between games and things. And hardcore Pokemon fans were pissed because they've spent a lot of time building these Pokédexes up and building up their collection of Pokemon, and they want to be able to bring them into the Galar region. But when you're talking about balancing 1,000 fucking Pokemon into a game, I really don't see how it is so unreasonable for them to be like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. They've already had enough.
Wrong.
Okay, that's fine. We've already had issues in the past of balancing in the games where they add a new Pokemon with, once they started doing 2 types, it kind of helped and it also hindered it all at the same time. But it's such this weird thing where there's just so many characters, and trying to balance all of them is just, I can't even imagine the undertaking that they would have to do there. And there's, I don't see any reason to have all fucking 1,000 Pokemon in this game. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of the series as well. I get it, but at the same time, I feel like it's a little big of an ask at this point. At some point, like he said, they were going to have to jump off of this, and they were going to have to make it to where, yeah, we're either going to have to start over or just carry forward select Pokemon. I mean, there's so many Pokemon nobody even gives a shit about. Like, who plays with a Weedle? Who cares if you have a Weedle?
Whoa.
A Kakuna.
Whoa.
You using a Kakuna against the Elite Four? Come on, man.
Weedle is OP. I completely agree with you. I think people are getting a little, like you said, entitled. Here's the fucking thing. The game is on a home console / on the go portable, console as well. The game's changing. Like, the game looks great. The game is better in every single way. The way that it looks, like, we have not played it yet, but even if Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is supposed to be like a 70 or like a 50% of what a Sword and Shield is supposed to be, that's fantastic. That's great. But shit needs to change. And like you said, there's 800 fucking Pokemon. I don't see anybody bitching about Mario Tennis. I don't see anybody losing their shit about, not having fucking Slippy in Mario Tennis.
Well, and
what is this?
For me, I it's not entirely comparable, but if you think of like Smash Bros, how many characters they have in that game, just balancing that out, I can only imagine that is an absolute nightmare, let alone, 9 times that, 8, 10 times that. It's unreasonable. And it's just that like I said, entitled. It's this entitlement of, up until this point, you've given me, the ability to use Pokemon from previous generations, but that's absolutely my right going forward, or else I'm still going to buy your game and still play the shit out of it. So yeah, give me what I want. It's like, come on.
Where the fuck is Tingle?
Yeah, where the fuck's Tingle
Where's
and
Tingle?
Slippy? I want Slippy. I want Slippy as my favorite starter Pokemon. Come on,
I want Tingle and Mario Golf. Bullshit. He's part of the Nintendo umbrella, and you can't put him in, you son of a bitch. Why?
I just we've talked about it many times, and it's the entitlement amongst gamers is just so toxic, and I hate seeing it. And just what all of the things people will say online, or even just amongst friends or whatever, just to badmouth these devs and things that they haven't fucking done anything wrong. They're making a damn good game.
You're getting new Pokemon,
You're getting new Pokemon. Like, I just suck it up. It's going to be all right. I promise.
So is there like a number of Pokemon that they've told that aren't going to be part of this?
They haven't told us how many are coming in the Galar region or how many are coming forward from old
that's
games.
what I mean. Like, which ones are excluded? Oh my God, get ready.
We have not
Get ready when the list comes out. If these guys put a list out that exceeds 50 Pokemon, everyone's going to lose their shit. I won't. But
we haven't seen much, but we have seen a few of them in trailers. I couldn't think of exactly which ones we did see. I mean, I know we saw a Gyarados. We've seen there's a giant Raichu. I mean, we've seen a handful of
Dynamax Raichu. Yep.
Yeah, Dynamax Raichu. We've seen a handful of them. We just. I mean, people are freaking out before we even know how many are coming forward. Maybe they're bringing 500 of them forward. We don't fucking know.
That's the nature of everything nowadays.
Temper it down a little bit, and we'll get there. And even at the end result, don't lose your shit about it. It's going to be all right. There's nothing you can do about it.
You can preach that. People are still going to lose their shit about stuff.
I know they are.
What do you mean the fucking Great Ball's not in here anymore? Are you kidding me?
This is my chance to... This is my chance to stand on a soapbox and tell people to calm the fuck down.
Well, this is the internet, and that doesn't work. It just lights smaller fires around your soapbox.
Right, yeah. Instead of one large fire, now I'm in the center of a whole lot of fire.
God.
It's great.
Speaking of a fire, Fortnite Celebrity Pro-Am viewership dropped drastically. So on the first day of their 2-day celebration after E3, Fortnite's Summer Block Party brought in 200,000 viewers on Twitch, which is quite lower than just a regular Saturday for the game in general, which usually will bring in 300 to 400,000 viewers, which I'm assuming E3 stuff and streamers probably had something to do with it. But day 2 did better, which is expected given the celebrity lineup being a little more popular. Day 2 brought in 427,000 viewers, which is still about a 72% decline from viewership last year. And viewership for Fortnite on Twitch has declined by 41% since last July. Brody, how much longer can Battle Royales last?
Hopefully not much longer, Jeff.
No, boy. And the pitchforks now have flames.
Oh, man. I bash on people bitching about Pokemon. I bash on Battle Royales. They're coming after me, Jeff.
I bashed airlines right at the fucking get-go. No one's safe.
Well, you're just bashing on everything. It's great. Yeah. It was only a matter of time. I mean, obviously, it's still bringing in a shitload of viewers regardless. And money. But yeah, I'm not surprised to see these numbers kind of start to taper off a bit. And we've seen it in Apex Legends too. I mean, it hit it hard and then it kind of dropped off. PUBG has stayed consistent, but it's a lot smaller. But it's a pretty dedicated fan base for whatever reason. I don't know. I really don't think there's any room for more battle royales at this point, even though people keep making them. And I feel like the genre's kind of run its course, and I think it's time to move on to whatever's next, which who knows what's next, but I'm over battle royales. I really
2019 is the death of the battle royale.
Here it is.
My production.
Yeah,
my production.
Like, what are you thinking? Like November or so? We're going to see it pretty well die?
As soon as it's January 1st, 2020, no one will give a shit about any of these things.
January 1st, everybody wakes up. Fuck battle royales.
Yeah. It was like some crazy curse. taken over the world.
Everybody wakes up and realizes they've been playing the same game over and 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 over.
My God, what am I?
It's like
doing?
It's like Groundhog's Day. That's how I feel playing Battle Royale. It's like my own personal
Groundhog's Day has come up on this podcast so many fucking times. Like every other podcast, bro, is a reference to Groundhog's Day. Or we say, man, this feels a lot like Groundhog's Day. Yeah, I don't know.
Episodes feel like Groundhog's Day.
Oh my God, that's meta right there. Damn. Yeah, I think I do think that probably by the end of 2019, no one's going to give a shit, and I think you'll have a couple diehards into 2020. But other than that, I don't think, which is fine. I mean, it was a thing. It was a game. It came out. It's cool. But there's so much other shit coming out, like Pokemon. You're in between these new consoles where you're going to get crazy AAA games. So, in 2020 at least, 2020 people are going to stop buying new consoles. I would assume.
Yeah.
People who know what the fuck is going on, generally, to some extent. But we'll have to see.
So we have a little bit more info on Jedi Fallen Order. Kind of take it with a grain of salt because it's not exactly something official, but kind of, if that makes sense. We'll get there.
It's officially unofficial.
It's officially unofficial. With the mediocre gameplay trailer that was shown off at the EA Play, people have been concerned if this game is going to live up to the hype that was generated from the initial reveal. My answer is probably not, because there was a lot of hype at Star Wars. That's how it goes. But from what we saw in the gameplay reveal, it reminded me personally of Force Unleashed, and I made that comparison while we were kind of going over E3 in general. It looked very simple. It looked very linear and kind of overall an on-rail experience with kind of a okay-ish story, maybe. But through Jason Schreier of Kotaku, apparently someone at Respawn told him that the game is actually a Metroid type game. You have a ship and a crew that you can visit the planets in any order you like. As you gain new abilities, it allows you to unlock new areas on other planets. And then he, all caps, said, "Why not show that?" Which
he wasn't ready.
That's the general consensus. Yes. So we're going to show this very simple gameplay, even though this game comes out later this year, which is concerning. Another thing that kind of the internet was upset about was the fact that there's no dismemberment as a result of being set up by a lightsaber, which I don't know if these people have ever really watched a whole lot of Star Wars or gotten into the Star Wars universe. Yeah, I understand there's a couple parts that it happens.
Vader hits Obi-Wan and he turns into a toot in a cloak. He just collapses into a fart. Yeah. Legit. There's no noise.
And
he collapses into just a little brown fucking robe.
Yeah. So Ryan McCaffrey from IGN said, "I asked one of the lead designers, and it was a Lucas brand type of thing." Brandon Kelch, the lead designer, also stated, "We kind of use the films as reference, and working with Disney, it's like, it's used as powerful moments and like kind of critical things. So we'll use it that similar way." Word for word, baby. That was so hard to read.
Man, when it counts to be able to speak properly and structure your sentences. Oh, man. Boy. Damn, you never know.
It's hard to quote things like that.
Holy shit.
Anyway.
No, they didn't. It's for fucking rating.
Well,
I agree.
I think part of it's the rating, but I also think, I think part of it is that's just not really what Star Wars is about. You want that, go watch fucking something else or go play a different game. There's plenty of games. Go play Gears of War. You could cut somebody up with a fucking chainsaw.
Bro, when a Jedi fucking blocks a laser blast from a fucking stormtrooper's gun, the odd one that is close to hitting their body, that laser goes back to the fucking stormtrooper and hits him like someone threw a tennis ball at his chest, and he flies back 2 feet.
Yeah,
like there's this shit does not Yoda's not ripping someone's arms off, and you just seeing shit blow off.
Beats the hell out of them. But that's not what this is.
One of the darkest moments is probably either like when Yoda killed Count Dooku, and then also
Snoke was probably one of the.
I was gonna say more along the lines of that the shock trooper against Finn, and where he puts the blood on his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
kind of the first time I've seen. I mean,
it's not a gory series. It's not a series that's like, hey, we're just over here just chopping people's arms off left and right. Even our main weapon is a light beam, and it's only happened a handful of times. Like, it's
when Darth Maul died, he fell down a pit. There was no blood. He was perfectly chopped in half. And his robe concealed all of his guts inside of his fucking body. Well, he flipped down like one of those children's fucking piggy banks down the fucking hole. There's never been this kind of violence in Star Wars. So I don't understand this, where people would think that they would take it to something different.
And and we said that even before these quotes came out. I mean, we said that last episode, probably the episode before, whenever we've talked about it. And like he said, every time something like that happens, it's used to show off something very powerful in the series. Like Luke getting his hand cut off, things like that. Like all of these have a certain gravitas. Like all of these, it's not every single battle where Jedis are just going in and cutting stormtroopers up like nothing. It's a very specific thing that they use for a very specific time. And for a game to do otherwise would be not staying true to kind of the source material or their reference on this. I guess it's not really source material because this is a new story, but still, it's just, I don't know what people expected.
I don't know. Do we want fall damage? Do we want realistic fall damage? Like when Mace Windu gets thrown out of the fucking window by Senator Palpatine and he just fucking falls to the ground? Do we want him just to explode upon impact on the planet of Coruscant?
When a stormtrooper gets hit with a bolt or with a reflected back gunshot or whatever, or a beam, they fucking
it's like sparks a kid getting hit by a dodgeball.
Yeah, they fly back, and then sparks come out like they're a fucking Power Ranger or something. Like,
I don't think in the game that they did a bad job. I mean, you could tell you were inflicting damage to something. It was a glowing ember on the side of somebody, a glowing patch, on the stormtrooper, a glowing patch on here. Because here's the other fucking thing: there's no blood, bro. When you cut somebody, it's cauterized.
Right. I think these people need to go play Doom when it comes out. Maybe give Doom Eternal a shot. There's all the blood you could Doom ever
Star
want.
Wars crossover.
Oh God.
With Ewoks.
With Ewoks.
Blow their limbs off. Good God. Blowing Ewok limbs off. Fucking fire them off. Can't squishing them between those log traps and shit.
I feel like the internet would just completely explode if they didn't find something to bitch about every single day.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. Like,
it's a Darren man. He's a betting man tonight. Holy.
I don't know, man.
No, I agree with you. People are being a bunch of pussies about this. I mean, it's I'll say it. I don't care. Yeah, this is Star Wars. They've never fucking really done that. Like I've said, a guy gets killed, he turns into a fucking fart in a robe, and other people get their hand cut off. There's no blood. It's immediately cauterized. Both hands and his fucking limbs, and he's crawling in the hot fucking. Not magma, but hot soil, I guess.
It could be like the Black Knight from Monty Python. That's what they want. They just cut one leg off, cut the other leg off, start cutting arms off.
I mean, what if people want blood? Because here's the other thing: people constantly bitch about how they've changed Star Wars when it comes to the films, and they've made it either darker, or they've made it in a different kind of feel or setting, or a stormtrooper would never touch blood on his face.
You can't please them. Honest to God, can't please them.
It's over. I mean, it's it's stupid. They'll put something in there where you can cut fucking plants and they'll be like, look, you can cut plants, but you can't cut people. Yeah, because they want to keep their fucking rating down because kids are going to buy this. Because Disney owns fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep it decent where a 10-year-old can play the fucking game and his parents not going to go, oh my God, you just cut the cock off of that stormtrooper. Like, no, people don't want that for their kids. People don't want that.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try to get the T rating on this. It's a much broader audience. Not that young kids and teenagers aren't playing M-rated games anyway, because they are. But at the same time, they're gonna try to keep that teen rating because it generally will probably sell better. It's just it's a broader audience.
Buy this for their kid. Look at Battlefront. I mean, sure, it was a bad game, the new ones.
Yeah.
They were bad. So the older Battlefront, okay? The older Battlefront.
Why wasn't there dismemberment in Battlefront 2?
No blood, no blood.
The only thing they cut from you in Battlefront 2 was your goddamn wallet.
And I swear to God, too, if someone's like, well, actually, there's some scenes where there's a blood mist occasionally. Okay, let me fucking tell you something. That blood mist, okay? It's like the fucking, it's so close to being like the mist of like fucking Febreze. You wouldn't even fucking know that there's blood or the guy's spraying Febreze in the fucking air.
Not even like a full Febreze thing. It's like one of those dispensers that like puffs out in the back. You put them in your bathroom and every once in a while it's just like...
Serious, man. Leave Star Wars alone. Just fucking... On second thought, who the fuck chose that as the gameplay? Because it was like, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a 20-minute long gameplay session.
Yeah, and it was extremely dull.
Why the fuck did we not see a ship or planets?
I don't know. Especially if that's going to be a key part of what that game is. Show that shit off. Even if it's just for 5 fucking minutes or something.
And if you didn't show it, why? Is it because it's not ready? That's alarming.
To be fair, EA and their marketing has not been top notch in recent years. So I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it feels like it's just the obvious thing to do. I don't work in marketing at all. And to me, I'm thinking, hey, what's the dullest part of this game? Let's show that to people because that's what they want to see. Because first impressions aren't important at all. It's like, come on. It's right there. Right there.
It's not, though, because it's broken.
It's broken as shit.
It's got to be broken.
It's not done.
It's broken. It's going to be like fucking Anthem where the water does nothing for you against a fire fucking... There's a fire enemy in water. You're taking fire fucking damage while sitting in 3 feet of water.
Anthem. Yeah.
Anthem. Well, hey, guys.
Yeah.
This podcast takes time and effort to create. If you want to support us, head on over to patreon.com/Diggity Podcast. Today's podcast was brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial by heading on over to audibletrial.com/Diggity. It's Diggity. Get access to a ton of audiobooks to choose from for your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player if you're old as shit. You probably pick up some good Star Wars books there and educate yourself on the violence within Star Wars. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Our YouTube username is Diggity. I'm available on Xbox One. My gamer tag is Maple Jeff Brody.
Luscious Brody. And on PlayStation.
Hey.
Wolverine's cousin.
Hey. Guys, leave us a review. It helps us a ton. Whether you're watching the video version of the podcast on YouTube, leave us a comment there and thumbs up and subscribe to the video. Or if you listen to the audio version of the podcast, hey, leave us a review. Helps us out a ton. Gets us showcased a little bit more on the different respective platforms that we're on. And most importantly, it gives us feedback so we can make the show better each and every single week. And until then, guys, go fucking dismember other people in other games, all right? Fucking whatever. And stop complaining that there's like 100 Pokemon not in an 800 Pokemon game. Fuck's sakes. Just be happy. See ya.